What's up, everybody? It's your host, Isaiah Bagnah of the Realest Realist podcast. So, actually, first things first, what I want to talk about, man, Super Bowl weekend. I'm going to start off with a bang. Hey, I wanted the Eagles to win.
That's right.
I said it from the jump. Okay, first of all, I said I wanted the Ravens to win.
Right, if we go all the way back.
If we go all the way back. However, though, who I thought between the two teams, I knew it was going to be the Eagles. I called it. I have faith in Jalen Hurts. Mostly, it's because Saquon Barkley.
But he kind of got shut down a little bit.
Oh, he definitely did. He had
By his standards.
I think it was like at one point he had 12 rushes for 3 yards. So, like, I mean, shoot. But I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah.
So I've always liked Saquon.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was just hoping for the Eagles, man. They came through. In fact,
They dominated.
they whooped ass.
Kind of wasn't fun. And not just because I'm a Chiefs fan, but just because like there was nothing, no juice got going for the Chiefs really until the very end, which didn't count. It didn't matter. But like just from a compelling game, you're kind of like, oh well, this is pretty lopsided.
Yeah, 100%. Who'd you have?
Oh, I had Kansas City winning.
Yeah, Kansas City, huh?
Mm-hmm. If I was a betting guy, I would have put money on Kansas City.
Yeah. Kev, who do you have? Who did you have? Did you watch Super Bowl?
Yeah, of course. I had the Eagles. I kind of thought that defensive line was gonna eat,
And that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
but
Dude, not just in the pass game, but in the run game too. I watched a little bit of their film. Oh my gosh, the pulling guards, pulling.
Oh, smoked. The
dude,
counters were
bad.
toast. The
Over
counters
it.
got cooked.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy.
Play side, backside, both.
Yeah,
It didn't matter.
Crazy.
Their counter was dead.
crazy. Well, sorry, Kev. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. What was you saying?
just that if it was close, Mahomes was gonna pull it off. But
Yeah.
the only way the Eagles were gonna win that game was exactly how they won that game.
Yeah,
Domination throughout,
Mhm.
keeping the foot on the pedal.
Yeah.
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 And everyone's like talking mad smack on Mahomes, and I'm kind of like, dude, the D line of the Eagles showed you why D line, especially DNs, get paid what they get paid.
Yep.
Because those tackles
We're screwed.
is over.
They didn't know what to do, where they was at, nothing. It was crazy. Like, how many sacks they have? They had like what, 6?
Yeah.
7 or 6?
Well, and there was holding penalties and stuff too. Like
quite a few.
quite a
actually.
few where it was like, I gotta
Yeah.
hold you because otherwise it's a sack.
Yeah.
I might get away with this.
Yeah.
There's a chance. If I don't, it's a sack. So, yeah, dude, it was. You can blame Kelsey for drops. You could blame this, and they've always kind of thrown those pop passes, worked the middle of the field with mesh and stuff to open up the run,
Yeah.
and none of it was working. So I didn't really think the run, because usually the run game gets going for them later in the game as people kind of soften up. But no, man, like it was total domination.
That's so crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I don't know what like the betting odds were. Like Vegas. had.
Kansas was
was-
1.5. Kansas City was
Kansas
1.5 before the game.
Most of the money was on the Chiefs too.
Yeah.
So Vegas.
Everyone was believing in that
Vegas
script
had a
narrative.
Vegas had a great night last night.
Oh yeah, I bet.
That's why you make money in crypto, not on sports gambling.
Ding 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 ding.
Just bet against the public, then you'll make money.
Dude, that's how you do it in stocks and crypto too, right? You have to play when everyone's scared. That's when you got to buy,
Mhm.
and when everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, it's going up way more. This is never going to stop." That's when you got to get out, take your profits.
Yeah.
The math's the same.
Math.
But sometimes you're relying on. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Michigan was a 4.5 point favorite, and Indiana hit a 3/4 court 3 to get within 3 on Saturday. Insane bad beat.
Yeah,
Insane bad beat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sports betting you live with that.
That's the thing. I've never been on sports or anything like
Yeah.
that, so I don't even really know how that works. But I do know where you guys are coming from because I've definitely played a little bit of roulette before.
yeah,
When you see red keep coming up,
Oh no,
you gotta go against.
you got to
the
bet
grain.
on black.
You gotta go against the grain. So I get where you're coming from for
That's-
sure. In a way,
That's my system, bro. We need to go do a little roulette.
I have
Me and Mason did on the
a
cruise.
little Wendover.
Yeah, a little
Little
Wendover. Why
Wendover
not?
trip.
Dude,
Hey,
hop in the Model
I'm not doing
Y,
anything this weekend.
put it to full
Yeah.
self drive.
That's what I'm saying.
Take us to what is it at Wendover? I can't remember the pepper. I don't even remember.
I've never been,
Oh, I've been, but
so
I can't remember.
couldn't
Mostly I
tell
go
you.
for coaches clinics.
that's fair.
They're out in Wendover.
You know, a lot of my friends all the time keep going man, we gotta go to Wendover. We got literally every week. I hear it. Every week I hear it. Somebody's like, "Man, we gotta go. Let's go to Wendover. Let's go to Wendover." I'm like,
Imagine a smaller, dirtier somehow Las Vegas.
dirtier Las
Somehow.
Vegas?
Somehow it's dirtier.
Ugh.
I don't know how.
Okay.
I mean, it's dirtier than like the MGM and the Caesars. Maybe not dirtier than the dirtiest of the
Okay.
dirty.
Yeah. Like,
We're not talking South Vegas
What's
dirty,
the-
but
Trashy.
what's the trashiest
Or North
casino
Vegas dirty.
I've ever been in Vegas?
in Vegas, there's some bad ones.
There are
Yeah,
some.
well,
bad
that's
ones.
Wendover.
That's Wendover.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
it's-
take like the 3 worst ones on the strip and you park them on the state
Oh.
line. Wendover, baby.
That sucks.
And
But hey,
the
You're
Utah
still
side of the
playing.
state line. The Utah state of the Utah side
Oh, it's sad.
is so sad.
It's
and
sad.
then you get over to Wendover and you can tell which side has legal gambling and which,
Which
side
side doesn't. Yeah.
jeez.
Dude, you've been
gotta
down
see
to the old Our Amigos condo down in St. George, or have you not ever taken him up on that?
I
'Cause
have not. Not
Mesquite-
yet. I was trying to.
How far is Mesquite from St. George? 35 minutes, 40 minutes?
Yeah, half.
Yeah,
It's just
it's like right.
opposite side of the gorge.
Yeah.
Because
it's-
Vegas is like what 45 from St. George.
No, it's
No,
about an
I'm thinking-
hour,
I'm
hour
thinking
and a
Cedar
half.
City.
hour and a half. Yeah, Cedar
Cedar
City.
City.
Yeah.
It's right there.
But Mesquite has gambling. They got Casablanca and Virgin River
Yeah.
there.
Mm.
We could go stay at the old condo and
Hey.
hit up there. But Wendover's probably quicker and faster. Easier to make a
Probably.
night of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just play roulette till 4 a.m. and drive home.
No, I don't need till 4 a.m. I'll be out of money by. Not just kidding. No, because I'm bad. Because when I'm up, I'm like kind of done. And
Okay.
usually when I lose money, it's like peer pressure. I feel bad. Like
Yeah.
I'm up like $150. I'm like cool with that. Like free money.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm
it's
not
true.
that greedy. 150 free bucks. And all my buddies want to keep playing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'll play a little more, and then it's all gone. I'm like,
It's just like, bro, why'd I have to do that?
but I'm like, I'm ready to be done.
No, I feel that. I do feel that, truthfully. I mean, like, so this is actually funny because some of my friends, like, we just have like little poker matches sometimes or stuff like that. And, dude, I'm telling you, I bet you can guess who the most dangerous bettor is in our little friend on our defense.
The linebackers.
Yes.
Yep.
At 110%. But I bet you know
I
or
do.
could call one person who
Should we out him?
Nah.
Nah.
No, we probably shouldn't.
We'll just say linebackers.
But bro, one of the linebackers, we like have these little like just little tournaments, whatever. Nothing too crazy, nothing that's, worth saying is illegal. But anyways, he just takes it to another level. Everybody's just hanging out, having fun, good times, and then he comes out of nowhere just all in. All the time. I'm like, bruh. What? And if he loses, same bet. Literally out of his own money. Then he loses again, same bet, if not more.
He's trying to make it all back.
Yeah.
Trying to win it all back.
Literally, man. And then somehow, he gets so down bad. But he always makes it out double what he initially came back with.
It's
I'm
funny
like,
because he
bro,
kind of plays football that way too.
absolutely he does. 110%. Always. Right or wrong.
Full send,
Right or
bro.
wrong,
All
literally.
in.
And it works out for the guy, man. That's just how some things works for some people.
Yeah.
Me, no. If I lose everything, I gotta be done.
Yeah.
Because if I buy in again, I'll lose it again. If I buy in again, I'll most likely lose it again. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm good.
Hey, you just have to follow the martingale system. You know what that is?
No.
So
Enlighten us.
I just Googled it so I don't get it wrong.
Oh.
You bet whether it hits or not, double your money.
Oh yeah, for roulette.
And then
yeah.
keep doubling. And then at some point you're gonna hit and boom. Walk away.
Yeah, and they
But
try
what if you
and
don't-
stop you from doing this by messing with the betting
Yeah.
limits and different things because it actually is an effective strategy. And if they catch you like kind of doing it, they don't like it
Nope.
because you can win with it.
So you just keep betting till you win.
Yeah, because if you double, eventually when it hits, you'll win all your money back plus.
Right.
So if you go in with $200 and you do this, basically you're going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you hit and you're up, if you're content, you win. My friend is an engineer. He's a math nerd, right? Genius. I shouldn't say nerd. He's a very smart person.
It's okay. It's the realest realist.
The realest, man. But smarter than me in
The
school.
guy's a cool nerd.
He's a
man.
cool
He's
nerd.
a cool nerd.
and he was our kicker in high school. And we were in Vegas actually to watch BYU play Notre Dame game. We went down there. We were there early, and we're like, let's go play some roulette. And I kind of taught him my system, which is a little similar to that, except for when I jump in and when I choose to bet, when I don't, it's a little different, but the same principle. And I was kind of teaching to him. And he's like, oh, well, what if you did it with this and with the numbers and this? And he just knows statistics, and he was like winning, and he'd never gambled in his life. And he was like, whoa, this. I'm like, I think we should be done. He's like, yeah, I think we should be done too. So we walked away. I'm like, dude, you'll probably never gamble again. He's like, no, I'll probably never gamble again. You can always say you left on top of Vegas.
You'll always be up, man.
You'll always be up.
Dang.
So
it's a sick feeling. I bet.
It's a nice feeling.
Wish I knew what that was like. But, don't we all, huh?
Don't we all?
No, that's funny. That is funny. Actually, speaking of gambling, crypto.
Yeah, maybe.
What are okay, because a lot of people don't know much about crypto.
Right.
A lot of people are kind of, a little sensitive towards it, or kind of on the edge with, how they feel about whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, it can be risky.
Yeah.
But it can also be very beneficial.
Yeah.
I myself have dabbled a little bit into crypto, especially as of lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it. It's cool. However, though, I don't know, man. I haven't seen anything like no big reward yet. Yeah. And of course, you gotta play the long game, and wait that out. But I'm still a little bit uneasy about it, just because I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it? Because I know you've had your skin in the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're obviously probably the most knowledgeable in the room on the matter, unless Eric
says no.
No? Okay, well then you are.
I mean, I won't get nerdy and technical with it because you can, right? But basically, there's Bitcoin, and then there's everything else, right? So there's Bitcoin, there's altcoins. Altcoins typically mirror Bitcoin for most of the time. If Bitcoin goes up, altcoins will go up, right? And then there's the Bitcoin halving cycle. So I'll get these numbers wrong. Kevin, if he wants to, can Google them, but it doesn't really matter. I think it's every 140,000 blocks that are mined. Bitcoin's supply that is released to miners is cut in half. So at the average rate, it's about every 4 years, the supply that's cut to miners is cut in half. That every time historically, since Bitcoin's been around, has caused a supply shock. So just like imagine if the U.S. cut how many dollars they printed in half every 4 years, well, the value of the dollar would go up exponentially, right? But because it is kind of a shock initially, you see a big run up on the value of Bitcoin. How many blocks does it mine? Did you guys have it for the Bitcoin halving? Oh, I thought you guys were looking up. Never mind. Because there's a supply shock, initially it runs up.
Okay.
And then it kind of has an equilibrium and it stabilizes and it comes back down, right?
Okay.
So if you wait until Bitcoin drops off its halving and you buy into altcoins and Bitcoins, and then you wait for it to be halved, and then if that supply shock to run it up and you take profits, it's a pretty good model to follow. Or so far it has been, right? Past results don't predict future results, but historically that's been the way to play the game. So I keep a really close eye on how many days from the halvings there are for either market peaks or market bottoms. And then I follow different people who do technical analysis and things on it. And when I feel like the market is bottom, and you're never going to catch the exact bottom, although I did this time, which makes me pumped, bro. Yeah. But even if you're within a few weeks to a month of the bottom and you put your money in and then you ride it back up, and then you got the self-control, you can combat your greed.
See, that's what it comes down to, I feel.
It's all psychology.
All of it, huh? Because you see that price going up.
And your natural instinct's like, it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
This isn't the top. What if it goes to $1 a coin? What if Bitcoin goes to 500,000? Right now, countries are buying it like this. Like, it's going to keep going. Like, and you're going to have influencers, and you're going to have people who do technical analysis who'd be like, oh, this could be the Bitcoin super cycle.
Yeah.
Which eventually, as it gets adopted enough that there aren't these big run-ups and pullbacks. It becomes more of a steady thing. Same thing happened with tech stocks. The same thing happened when gold was able to be traded.
Mhm.
You kind of saw a predictable run up, and then it kind of stabilizes.
Speaking of gold, actually,
Mhm.
I saw something the other day about I forgot what it's at right now, but it's relatively pretty high.
Yeah,
just the value
it's
of
just
gold,
had
right?
some good pumps the last few weeks.
So I saw something, and it was like it took gold 40 years to get to this point,
Mm-hmm.
and it took Bitcoin to get to the exact same point in like 8 years.
Yeah,
I think it was.
yeah,
So like, just thinking about that, and that's kind of just ties into just the market of everything too, especially with the way, because we were talking about before the podcast about like how Trump is buying into it,
yeah. Trump's bought a lot of crypto,
a lot of crypto and stuff like that.
millions and millions,
And you
tens
look at
of
the
millions.
way that the economy's going, I don't know. Shoot, you think about 8 years from now, where gold's gonna be and where Bitcoin's gonna be.
yeah.
If it keeps going on the same trend that it is, hey,
Listen,
that could be crazy.
they can always mine more gold, right? Like you could open a gold mine, or you could just increase the man hours
Sure.
at your mining operation, and in theory, increase your supply. They're only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin, period. And really, with all the Bitcoin that were lost early on laptop, and people are like mining them on a laptop, and then, oh, this is only worth 25 cents and it's gone.
Yeah.
Really, there's about 18 to 19 million Bitcoin. That's it. There'll never be more. So, how many people are there on Earth?
A lot more than 20 million.
Yeah, about 8 billion,
Yeah.
right? Give or take 8 billion people
it is
on
past
Earth.
8 billion. Yep.
Yeah, so there's not enough for everybody to hold one Bitcoin. Once everybody starts adopting it and using it, even if they're not spending it, because everyone's like, oh, it's too slow to spend. It's like, no, this is basically digital gold. People don't
Yeah.
really spend gold. They use gold to hedge against inflation. They use gold to store value long term, but
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
They don't go to Walmart and flake off some gold off a coin and buy their groceries. That doesn't work that way. So if you look at it that perspective, there's never going to be enough Bitcoin for everybody to hold a decent percentage. So if you can get 1%, 10%, 25% of a Bitcoin, and you just wait for it to keep adopting, because eventually the halving gets cut in half again. By 2038, I think they're only mining like 5 Bitcoin a day or something, right? It's really, really scarce. And a lot of it's going to be locked up by the ETFs, the institutions, the governments who are holding it as a reserve.
Yeah.
So long-term, Bitcoin. But altcoins usually run higher in the cycles than Bitcoin does, typically. It's because you'll catch these alt seasons, what they call it. And then if you switch over to Bitcoin, or you just switch over to cash, from then you can build up a Bitcoin position.
Yeah.
That's tough. But man, get you 1% of a Bitcoin at least,
Yeah.
and just chill on it.
Just let it ride.
Don't look at it, don't think about it. Just ignore it. Right?
Yeah.
That's less than $1,000 right now. I think you get 1% of Bitcoin for $970 right now, something like that.
Dang.
So if you can get that much
of
in,
a Bitcoin for almost $1,000. Interesting.
right at this moment, right? It
Right.
could be a lot more by September or August. Who knows? But right now, that's how much it costs. If you can get that much in there, and you're just committed to holding it long term, historically, you should be doing really, really well.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, shoot. Jake might just put you all on game.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see. Hey,
This is not financial advice.
we're not financial advisors.
We're not. We might be financial professionals, but not
Financial advisors. But that is a good point, though, because I don't put all my money into crypto,
Right.
right?
Neither do
I have a secure investment that is guaranteed against loss as well.
It's very true.
Most people don't have that. But I have a very rock solid investment that's guaranteed against loss, has market based returns, no cap on the upside, and is tax free in retirement. So I feel like I can be a little dangerous.
Absolutely.
I can live dangerously.
I do too,
Crypto.
and that's why you gave me the the influence to maybe, hey, you got this going on for you, man. It's a guarantee. You're good. Why not play a little risky game?
Yeah.
Why not? If it's risky in my eyes, when in reality, like the Bitcoin aspect of it, I mean, yeah, it's risky, but at the same time,
The risk is you buy when everyone's excited about it.
yeah,
And then it goes down. And then you're like, oh, crap. This is stupid. I lost all my money. I can't believe I did that. And then you sell. And then you forget about Bitcoin. You turn in. And you're like, oh, I sold my Bitcoin at $60,000 a few years ago. Or I sold it at $40,000 when it tanked. And now it's $108,000. Why did I sell my Bitcoin? Because that's what 90% of the people will do.
Yeah.
Is they will be chasing the news. Like they'll hear the news and they'll react on the news. Where the real investors, when everyone's excited, will take profits. And when everyone's like, Bitcoin's terrible, they'll be like texting their buddies like, hey, this is time.
Yeah.
This is time to put your money in. So
there you go. It's pretty cool, man. Yeah. I'm uneasy about crypto, but it kind of like is exciting.
it is exciting.
Truthfully. It is kind of exciting. And it's kind of like a different version of gambling.
Yeah.
In a way.
High risk asset.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I see it like a responsible gamble.
Yeah.
That's how I see it as.
Yeah.
You know? But actually, as well with money, also too because basketball is going on right now and Luka's debut is right now.
That's right.
I was thinking about the BYU basketball team.
Yeah.
Earlier today. And I personally haven't been very, I haven't been paying too much attention to them. Just honestly college basketball in general.
Right.
However, how are the guys doing? I want to know how are the guys doing.
Kevin covers it closer than anybody. They had a really good 4-game win streak and with including some quad 1 wins.
Yeah, they were on a 4-game win streak, had a really good win against Baylor. I think they were tied for 5th in the Big 12, which is pretty decent. That'll get you if that had held, that probably would have gotten them a single-digit seed in the NCAA tournament. But last week they lost to Arizona, lost to Cincinnati on Saturday, so they're...
The Arizona loss, I don't feel like hurts you as much.
No.
But the Cincinnati one feels like it does. Even though it's a quad 1 road loss, it still feels like it hurts.
Yeah, it definitely hurts. It's just they're running out of opportunities to get the big quad 1 win. Like if they had beat Arizona,
And you got them at home.
That could have pushed them quite a few spots. But right now they're like the second to last team in the tournament right now.
Yeah, they're very much on the bubble.
Yeah. Every game is BYU fans
crucial,
will be sweating it out.
West Virginia tomorrow night at West Virginia.
Yep.
And you kind of have to win that one.
Yeah, they could afford to go 1-1 on this road trip.
Yeah.
They lost Cincinnati, so now it's like you have to
win this.
You have to be West
And then
Virginia.
it's Kansas State, Kansas after this, I believe.
Yep. Kansas State at home. Kansas State's won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Just beat Kansas at home. And then Kansas next week at the Marriott Center.
So if you can go 2-2. You like that, Kev?
Yeah.
Good enough?
I think so.
Good enough.
You just can't lose. I don't think you can lose to Kansas State at home.
Yeah.
I think
that can't be one of your losses. You can lose to Kansas at home.
Right now they're 15-7, 15-8, I think. And if they can go 5-3 in their last 8 games, and then win a couple games in the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah.
They'll be a tournament team, but they're just...
And I don't know. It feels like we see, like you and I talked about this a while ago, Kev. They had the lineup change where they put Mag in the starting lineup. It was like a Trevin, Mag, Yegor, Keba, and Richie lineup.
Richie.
Yeah. And that's when they had their 4-game streak. They kind of changed that lineup. They had some things going. I feel like as the season goes on, I mean, obviously they didn't play great against Cincinnati at stretches, but it seems like they keep figuring things out as it goes on.
Yeah, it's very... So Demon is a point guard, and he's getting... It's like playing quarterback. It's like being a starting quarterback as a freshman, where teams are like, oh, you do this well, so we're going to take this away.
Yeah.
And then it takes him a few games to figure it out and solve the puzzle. And then once he figures it out, he gets on like a 4-game just...
Yep. 4-game stretch or something going, yeah. So.
Yeah, 4-game stretch. And then after that 4-game stretch, that he kind of comes back to earth because teams have figured him out a little bit again.
Yeah, and you see young quarterbacks struggle with press man or struggle with the blitz, just like get happy feet or whatever.
I mean, it's more just like all the different pick and roll coverages he's seeing, and then
they try to just make it ugly on him too.
Yeah.
They just foul him.
Physical.
Just get physical with him and try and force turnovers. And
so if he's on like BYU, really, really good. But yeah, last couple games he's been throwing the ball around the gym, and
yeah,
it's second half offense has kind of been their struggle the last 2 games.
yeah. So there you go. There's your update on the Hoop Squad.
Yeah.
Pretty in depth, I say, between Kevin and I.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was good. I bet the people at home appreciated that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I don't know. Sometimes when I think about college basketball, obviously, like I've seen how college football, how these guys get paid, stuff like that. College basketball is a whole nother story, bro. A whole nother story. I'm talking millions.
For some of them, yeah.
For some of them, for sure.
Yeah.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about like basketball. I'm talking about college basketball in general.
In general, yeah.
There's quite a few guys out there making millions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Young guys too.
yeah. And
It's pretty crazy.
Kansas State, they have a bunch of dudes on that team. They're like 500, but their payroll's like like 5-6 million. Coleman Hawkins
Yeah.
is making like 2 million this season. Doug McDaniel's making close to $1 million, I think. This is all just stuff I've seen on Twitter, but
Sure.
like there are teams that just go out there in the transfer portal, and it's crazy the type of cash that they're throwing around.
You got Indiana. Indiana loaded up on guys in the portal. I was just talking to a big Indiana fan down in Arizona. Paid a lot of money to some kind of one and done type guys, some good guys in Indiana, and they have not played well too. So it's like, you hit big and you also miss big sometimes with that stuff. So guys who personally and secondhand who got big bags, and you're kind of like waiting for something to happen,
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with hoops, but maybe on a little bit bigger scale.
Yeah, for sure. I bet. And there's not as many people
Right.
on a team in basketball as well. Dang. Yeah, I've just been thinking about that, man. I was like, wow. These guys are getting set up, man.
Yeah.
Big time. And then they go on to the NBA and just make even more.
Man,
Good for
what
them.
percentage
That's
make
so
it to the
sick.
NBA? Less than 1, right?
Yeah, about
it has to
1%
be.
maybe.
About 1%. Same with football. Football's about 1
Yeah,
that make it to the NFL.
something like that. I think it's even below.
It might be
1
below that too.
for the NFL.
So I don't know, dude. I'm all about like let's pay college athletes because injuries happen, things happen, and then like football ends for people, right? Like because of that. And sometimes you just, game gets so athletic and so physical, you're done. But
Right.
a lot of times, not even people are. I mean, I could think of plenty of guys on BYU squad in the past who were plenty athletic enough to play in the NFL, and then
Just
too many ACL tears,
Yeah.
or
it's crazy, man.
mhm.
It's a price you pay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, just that risk, because it's very common.
Yes.
Those type of things. Even some of my best friends, I'm just like, wow. Type of things they've had to like endure and stuff like that and overcome is like, wow.
Yeah.
Just physically wise,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
one of my best
People don't know,
friends-
man.
Bro, they don't know.
They don't know.
One of my best friends, I think after his sophomore year, he like had surgery on his back,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't move, and then he literally the next day he had, not the next day, I want to say like a week later or so, he had his labrum, he had surgery on his labrum, and like he had something else. I think it was like in his knee, but dude was just going through it.
Yeah.
And there's people all around like that, just going through it.
Do you remember you played 1 year with Nisa Mahe or not?
Yep.
Yeah. So I remember
was
I was
cool.
talking to Nisa on a podcast a few years ago. It was before Nisa really broke out. Like he was rotating in, he's younger, and then he kind of became the starter like the next year. I was talking to him between the two, and I was like, Nisa, dude, you had some sacks, like you had some nice pressures from the middle, you had some good moments and stuff, and it seemed like we were all kind of, the D-line was all sorts of banged up. And he's like, I played the last 2 games with both labrums torn. And he's like, it wasn't necessarily like I couldn't like tackle
Sure.
or I couldn't hit. He's like, I just couldn't extend. I'm like, well, it's
Yeah,
kind of
literally.
important when you're a D lineman. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of have to be able to extend. He's like, yeah, I played 2 games where I couldn't extend my arms, really.
It's
Can you
crazy,
imagine
isn't it?
that?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, bro. Some of the things. Yeah, even for like me, man. Like I've been super lucky and blessed that I've
Mhm.
never had like some
Major.
major injuries.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, I have my partial tears, stuff
Mhm.
like that, but no full tears. Yeah, nothing crazy like that. Like some of these people, man. But yeah, I mean, in 23, like I played dang near half season with 2 torn meniscuses.
Yep.
You know, meniscuses.
Meniscus. I have no
What's the
idea.
plural term for meniscus?
Someone call a doctor.
Nobody knows.
Someone call Doc Main.
Honestly, who cares? Who cares, man? You know, but and that was like the worst it's ever been injury wise
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So
Menisci.
Menisci. There we go.
Or
There you go.
menisci.
Appreciate it.
I don't know.
I don't know. One of those two.
Yep.
One of the two. For any of you guys who care about
Your pre-med
Plural.
students out there.
meniscus. But yeah, man, it's crazy. So no, I agree when
Mhm.
it comes to that. Just like because you know you're out there and yeah, it ruins a lot of things for you in the future. And some guys who are supposed to go play
Yeah.
and they can't,
Yeah.
then they're left with nothing to show for it, right? So that's just one of the benefits, one of the many benefits that NIL has,
Right.
With football players, basketball players, you stretch it to every sport,
Yeah.
Baseball, softball, soccer, all the above. Because in every sport, there's risk of injury.
Yep.
I don't know so much of golf. Actually, the way that I play golf, probably you could throw it back. You could throw your shoulder all the way back out. Eric's over here laughing because we
He knows.
We went together.
Yeah, we should have got you some sort of disability insurance.
Right.
Dude,
That's
did you go to Top Golf with us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
You,
I
s-
did.
you probably. I don't think I picked up a club that time. I think I just sat back and drank some Coke Zero and had
Hung out, huh?
some food. Yeah.
I haven't been to Top Golf in a while.
Maybe we should go,
Should.
Eric.
We should have the gold subscribers.
Get a gold subscriber event going.
Gold subscribers, Top Golf.
Mm-hmm.
How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Bring some.
I like it.
Some merch
Yeah.
stuff. Some surprises.
Yes. So subscribe to KooConnect if you haven't. KooConnect.com/subscribe.
There you go.
There you go. Come to Top Golf with Isaiah and I.
And other people too.
But mostly they
But
just come
mostly
for
they
us.
just
Yeah.
come for us because
Yeah. Forget the other players.
nobody.
No one cares about them.
They want to kick it with the realest realist.
That's right.
man.
That's right.
Realest realist at Top Golf. Yeah, that's good vibes for sure. But yeah, dude, I haven't worked on my swing for a while. I like golf though, man. I do. It's just I suck at it.
I want to like it, but I don't like it
It's fair.
because I suck at it too.
Practice makes perfect though.
And honestly, I haven't golfed very much in my life. I've really only picked up clubs. I could probably count on one hand how many times I've picked up golf clubs.
Mm.
So I'm not like holding myself accountable. 'Cause I can shoot basketball, and
There
I
you
can
go.
cut block, and I
Yep.
can pull. I know how to do a lot of cool things,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't know how to swing a golf club. I can go to a batting cage and hit balls all day long.
Yep.
So I mean,
It's just different, bro.
it's just different.
It's different. But I think I'm gonna take it more seriously this upcoming year, this upcoming summer, and honestly, just here on out.
Yeah.
I feel like because that's something I want to do. That's something I want to do with my friends when I'm older.
Yeah.
When I can't, run around and smack people in the face with my shoulder pads no more,
Yeah.
or like even get to a point where I don't even want to run up and down a basketball court.
Right. Well, dude, how old are Trump and Biden? Those guys still golf, right? Those guys are like ancient. They're still out there
Ancient.
swinging a golf club.
Fart
Like
and dust.
it's kind of cool because you can play it forever.
Yeah.
So I just got to invest some time. I hire Eric as my coach,
Yeah.
I guess. Dude, Dustin coached me up one time. We had all the players late for a Top Golf thing.
Oh,
Dustin
yeah?
was coaching me up. I got pretty good, and then didn't go back for 2 years.
Nope.
So
That probably
didn't help.
did it. See, for me, it's not like riding a bike.
No.
No, because I've learned it plenty of times. I've learned how to swing. I've even gotten it down to where I'm making consistent contact.
Do you know who I heard talk
Can't do
about
it,
golf one time? Was Kalani. I was at a coach's clinic.
Okay. He has his own Kalani Classic.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there I went there last year.
So Kalani was at a coach's clinic, and he was talking about how they had, the perfect tackle. You can break it down, and I think it's 10 points. right?
Yep.
Square up, load your hips, strike through, drive. Like you can break down the perfect tackle on these things. And he says it's like a golf swing. Like golf swing, he pulled up a chart that showed like there's like 10 steps to a perfect golf swing. And he's like, but the problem is you get out there and you start thinking in the middle of your swing, am I doing all this? Is this right? Is that right? Is this right? And you slice it. He's like, it's the same thing when you're tackling. If you focus too much on every aspect of it. And so he's like, what we're talking about is load strike. So we've taken it from 10 to 2. So like we identify, we do all these things to get ready. But once you're ready to tackle, it's load and strike. And we're striking near hip or striking there. We give him a target. But he's like, we've simplified it there to there. And then he pulled up at the time, Butch Pau was hitting everybody. Called him the happy hitter back then. But they pulled up clips and just showed him, like, this is Butch before we taught load. I think it was load strike, something like that. And this is him after. And he's just hitting so much harder and quicker. And he's like, it's because he's not thinking about 10 steps. He's thinking about 2. So.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, that's cool. When was the last time you went to a coaching clinic?
2019.
So
the 2021 I was going to go to got canceled because of COVID.
Before we cap this episode off, what is a coaching clinic like? I've always wondered because I've seen it, I've seen them and I've heard of them, but I've never actually attended one.
So I've been to a few. I've been to the University of Utah's. I've been to BYU's, and I've been to the one that's hosted by the Coaches Association or whatever it's called in Wendover. But basically, you have a destination, and they sell tickets to coaches, high school coaches, college coaches, whoever to attend. Mostly it's high school coaches. And then you go to the hotel, and in all the different conference rooms of the hotel, throughout different times, throughout 2 days, they have coaches there to speak. And these coaches come to speak, and you go and you can sit in on, hey, here's a 4-man passing game. Here are the best elements of zone pass coverage. Here's a whole session on red zone plays. Here's a whole session on goal line defense. And you just go and you like look at your schedule and you pick which ones you're going to attend. And you go, and like they're usually really good coaches. If you go to university, most of the university ones I've been to are the university coaches put it on. Like they do it, and it's kind of a little bit of a recruiting tool for them. They get to know the high school coaches and things like that. But if you go to the Wendover one, they'll have college coaches from all over the country come. The coolest one I think I've been to, or one of the coolest, was BYU did one where they had their coaches speak, but they only did like a couple of the sessions, and they brought some of the best high school coaches from all over the country. Texas, Georgia, Florida, California, some of the best coaches from all over the country came, and they taught their own styles where they do things. And because it was not that like football's all too different, but when you're teaching high school kids and you have limited time in practice, because you guys have a lot more time than we do, you have to simplify everything, right? Make it more simplistic. And so it was kind of cool because you got the same kind of stuff, but you got it in more simplistic terms. So that you could go and take it to your players in kind of those same simplified terms instead of kind of having to rethink it in a simpler way for them. But A-Rod teaches things very simplistically. I went to a 4 verts session that A-Rod did on how he runs 4 verts, bender boundary back, right? His way of doing it. And it changed how we ran 4 verts, and we killed people in that bender a lot more because traditionally we're running legit old school 4 verts. Instead, the bender, helps you attack that zone on cover 4 a lot better. So anyway, you can learn a lot, man. I learned a lot from working with other coaches who are on my staff, teaching me things along the way. They played in the NFL or they'd coached college or coached high school for a lot of years. And then I learned a lot of things at college coaches clinics, and they have NFL guys come in to the clinics and stuff as well at times. And so it's all high level stuff.
Cool. I mean, I would imagine so, right? You got some pretty dang good coaches up in there. So, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's funny when I hear fans be like, A-Rod is so stupid. He doesn't know what he's doing. This is like, A-Rod has forgot more about football than you will ever learn in your entire life. I promise you. Like, some of the stuff he called may not be executed well, or it might not have been the coverage he thought, or a coverage rolled, or protection broke down, or something happened. But I promise you, Aaron Roderick is not stupid. Like, I've sat in the room and talked football with him. Like, he's not stupid. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
So
that's cool, man. Well, that being said, I think this is a great spot to end the episode. Appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate y'all for listening and tuning in. Once again, I'm your host, Isaiah Bagnah of the Realest Realist podcast, and I'm going to see y'all next time.
And Utah.
Jazz are going all the way.
Oh, yeah. How about Luca's first game?
I saw his first bucket.